Some show up at Keeneland just to be beautiful, some for the burgoo. Me, it's because the best handicapping challenge on God's green earth is right here in Kentucky. Star horses come from Florida, California, and New York. Arkansas and Louisiana, all to what undoubtedly is the greatest horse racing melting pot in America.
Into the stretch at Keeneland, and Flight Line just moves right by. Life is good.
Win here and you've done something. Love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. That's Keeneland. Now, let's get handicapping. And good evening, everyone. Welcome in. Hope you're enjoying your Wednesday. Jeremy Plonk here from Horseplayer Now and Keeneland.com with the Keeneland look ahead for day 10 of the fall meet, which is the Thursday, October 19th card. We've got a 9-race program for you as we build the 8 races on Wednesday, 9 races to Thursday, and all building towards a big weekend that includes the Grade 2 Lexus Raven Run on Saturday's program. So the racing action just builds to a crescendo each and every week here. Week 3 of 4 at the Keeneland meet. Again, 17 days during the season. Day 10 as we hit double digits on Thursday. I'll be on the road on Wednesday night, so this podcast is recorded. We will not have the recap of the Wednesday program for you. For that, be sure to check out Today at Keeneland tomorrow morning, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, as Scott and Kate will go through all the action for you and set you up for the Thursday card. I'm here to handicap Thursday for you now, so let's just get started with this 9-race program. I've got some long shots that I really like on the card, so it's going to be a good day of straight win betting, I think, because we're going to get prices, and as we take a look at the handicapper selectors box and my big picture, you'll see some of the horses I like are prices, and they may keep those prices that we're seeing in the morning line. Here's how things set up for Thursday with that 9-race program. The 9 race cards are looking pretty similar throughout the meet. Turf Pick 3 on races 5, 7, and 9. There was no Keeneland Turf Pick 3, of course, on Wednesday, with just one grass race carded. Weather expected to be good for Thursday, so we should be on the grass for the turf in races 5, 7, and 9. Early Pick 5 is going to start in the opener. The early Pick 4 in race number 2. Pick 6 goes as races 4 through 9 on the card. And race number 5 will start the late Pick 5. So that's a swing race, part of the early and late Pick 5, right? Races 1 through 5, and then races 5 through 9. So we'll talk about our play in race number 5, where I think we've got a solid play in that particular race, a turf sprint. Not one of my key plays of the day because I've got bigger prices in 3 races, but I think we've got a solid horse to lean on in the 5th, which makes that early and late Pick 5 a lot more interesting when you have a potential single, I think, in that swing leg. Late Pick 4 starts in race number 6. And of course, again, those Turf Pick 3 races, the 7th and 9th. My plays of the day, races 3, 4, and 8. And we're going to get decent prices on all 3 of these runners, hopefully, as we go through the afternoon. Let's start off and take a look at the Keeneland.com handicappers consensus box and see what the selectors have for us in race number 1. It's a 2-horse race, according to us handicappers: Scott Hazelton, Tom Leach, myself, Caton Pradar, Kim Nelson. The 10, Must Be Love, picked on top by Scott, Caton, and Kim. What's up, bro? Top choice in here for Tom and I. These are non-winners of 3 lifetime or 3-year-olds. So you've got the dual condition claimers set up in here. And of course, dual conditions means there's 2 different ways you can qualify for the race. Non-winners of 3 lifetime for any age horse. And then if you're a 3-year-old, you can win as many races as you want. In this particular case, we've got number 2, What's Up, Bro, as a 3-year-old taking on older horses. Not a problem in this kind of condition. And already with the 3 career victories. So within 9 starts, the 2, What's Up, Bro, has already won 3 times. Some of these horses are trying to get that 3rd career win, and they're in starts 17, 18, 19 throughout their career. So I like the fact that What's Up, Bro has been very efficient through the record, getting through the conditions. And I think the non-winners of 3 against this particular group doesn't look that salty. So What's Up, Bro, from post 2. Larry Ravelli, the trainer. Ravelli has not had a good meet with his horses shipping here right now at Keeneland, but we know he's a high percentage Midwestern trainer. Horses usually show a lot of good early gate speed. This one has at times shown speed and at times closed. So we'll see where the pace sets up for What's Up, Bro. I think for post 2, it's more than likely that jockey Jareth Loveberry, who rode for Ravelli in the Kentucky Derby, of course, you remember 2 fills this year, runner-up in the Derby, Loveberry, his pilot there. This horse showed speed under Loveberry last time out at Thistledown against some easier competition. Probably Loveberry tried to send this one towards the front, I would think. Healing Waters also ought to be up near the front, as well as Raymond. So 2, 3, and 4 all have a little bit of pace about them in this particular spot. And really, there's not a ton of speed in here. The 8, all jokes aside, maybe shows a little bit. But I think you're better off being close to the front. Must Be Love, the 10, another one in here who I think has got a good shot. The other handicappers like the 10, should be forwardly placed. So I don't think this is a big rally kind of race. I don't think there's a lot of speed, and what is in there is the quality of the race. The 2, the 10, and the 3 should be forwardly placed throughout. 6 furlongs at this cheaper class level. I think you want speed anyway. I would go 2 deep in here for sure. Healing Waters certainly could get the victory. 3 deep if you're looking at a pick 5 to start things out here. 2, 10, and 3 should get you through. If you don't want to use the 3 and just take our top selections in here, 2, 10, that's going to cut the cost of your ticket by 1/3, going 3 deep versus 2 deep. So 1/3 of your ticket cost is reduced right away by taking the gutsy move of just going with the 2 and the 10. But I certainly would not go any deeper than those top 3. Back to the big picture, as race number 2 on the card is going to start the early pick 4. We've got a couple key plays of the day coming up, and when I look at that, I want to make sure I've got budgets for races 3 and 4 to come, right? You want to spread your money out and play more where you have the strongest opinions. So if you don't have a big opinion in race number 2, it means you've got more budget to play in race number 3. And I can tell you, I've got spread with 2 underlines written at the top of my page. I do not have a strong opinion at all in race number 2. So this is a race that's not going to get any of my money. Intra race, if you're playing the pick 4 or pick 5 early, then I think this is a race where you've got to use quite a few in here. The outside runner, Ocean Bird's the horse I got picked on top because of all the ones I'm not sure about. There's a lot of first-time starters. This one offers the best price. This horse was firing bullets at Saratoga this summer, didn't make the races at Saratoga, but now late to the game for the Mary Lou Whitney stables, Norm Cassie. Birdsong, this is a pure Whitney runner through and through. Ocean Bird to the outside. I like the outside draw in here in the sprint race in the debut. Things can go wrong just a little bit and still be okay out there. I've got the 12, but of the horses who have run, there's really just not a lot that I'm, warmly embracing. Gloriette, the 6, has got a couple starts, nothing special there. The 7, 8, 9 have all run, but haven't really done anything dazzling. The 9, Controlled Temper's probably got the best race on the form of any of the horses who have some experience. You would prefer in these maiden claiming races this time of year to get a horse with some experience. But again, I don't really have a feel for any of the horses who have run. So I ended up taking 3 first-time starters, 1, 2, and 3. Ocean Bird, She Spun, and Adeliki. So those are the 3 for me. Adeliki, interesting that John Service, Parks-based trainer, brings this one to Keeneland to debut instead of running locally at Parks. $150,000 maiden claimer goes for a $69,000 purse. So interesting placement for the 10 Adeliki coming here to run at Keeneland. We'll see what that one's got, but I have no strong opinion. The 6 Gloriette is a horse who's got some, experience, ran 3rd at Ellis Park last time, but the one race at Keeneland was terrible in the spring, got beat 12.5 lengths, dashing 4.5. So I don't know if this daughter of Munnings likes Keeneland or not, or maybe she's just a much better filly now than she was back in the spring. Maybe she wasn't ready to go at that time. So, I could see Gloriette. I've got usable written next to that one. In fact, I got usable written next to 4 of them beyond my top 3. So my top 3 in here are 12, 3, and 10. And I've got usable on the 4, 5, 6, and 9. This is a spread race, as I said, spread with an underline under it written at the top of my past performances. That may be enough if we can't narrow some of the other legs down to say I'm not playing the pick 4 or pick 5 in the early going, because I've got to use 7 of them in race number 2 in order to be interested and be any sort of confident. So race number 1, you're 2 or 3 deep. Now you're 7 deep. So you're already 14 or 21 combinations into this pick 5 before you get out of the second leg. You better have some horses you like in races 3 and 4 if that's the case. Fortunately, we do. They are price horses. I don't know if they're the kind you single in a pick 4 or pick 5, but they're some of our key plays of the day, and they're coming up next. Race number 3, this is a long shot look, 20-1 in the morning line, where I think there's a pace setup in here for number 4, Stormy Empire, going to be my top choice here. And I'm going to be on the island. I knew nobody else would have Stormy Empire in here. Other horses, Girl Afraid, the 5, top pick on here by Kim, Tom, and Scott. Then you've got Story Hour, the top choice, the 6 horse. So the ones I've got second and third, the 5 and the 6 are the logical players, but they're part of a, potentially hot pace in here. I think there's going to be a lot of speed in here. The 2 Tell Me When, the 5 Girl Afraid, and the 7 Condiment Girl are all very fast. And for trainers who get speed out of their horses, they're not going to give an inch. 2, 5, 7 are going to go barreling out of here. I think you want a horse from off the pace. Story Hour makes some sense from off the pace. Got claimed last time out away from Ian Wilkes to Robbie Medina's barn. Of course, Medina, the longtime assistant to Shug McGahee before going out on his own. The one thing I've got about Story Hour, though, is one race at Keeneland, 5th beaten 15 lengths. Doesn't have many bad races on the form, but the one here at Keeneland was poor. So that's why Story Hour for me wasn't the closer that I wanted to go to. I went to another closer in here, and I think it's Stormy Empire. This is a horse I think could move late. Lindsay Schultz, high percentage trainer, takes over this one for Frank Kirby. Takes the blinkers off, too. Interesting move here. First time for a barn that wins at a high percentage, and she makes an immediate move with this horse, taking the blinkers off of this Hawthorne Invader. So I'm taking Stormy Empire at a big price from off the pace. I think the blinkers on are going to relax this horse, keep her back a little bit more, and this veteran 7-year-old American come make a run. First time over the track at Keeneland. Nothing in the pedigree suggests to me that this horse is, destined for Keeneland or anything like that. It's purely a pace play. I think you're getting a great price on a high percentage barn that you absolutely have to watch moving horses up. Lindsay Schultz's horses move up when they come to her barn. She's got Stormy Empire in here with a great pace setup. Race number 3, that's going to be my top choice in here. I think the 5 and 6 are must uses if you're playing the pick 4 and the pick 5. So I would go 3 deep in this particular spot. And as we mentioned with our picks, the 5 and the 6 are the top choices of the other handicappers. They're the ones I think are most logically underneath as the best horses. But Stormy Empire, at the price for a trainer who moves horses up and with a great pace setup, give me the 4 in here. Stormy Empire 20-1. I want to get some of that price all day on Thursday's card. To the 4th race we go, where the pick 6 is going to open up here. And we've got another situation where we've got a horse who I think is going to get a good pace set up and will be able to relax a little bit and settle. This is a 1:16, 32,000 claimer in race number 4. And cutting back in trip from 1 1/8 to 1 1/16, I think is going to be a big boost here for He's Got This. Chris Hartman, the trainer. This is a horse who's kind of been up in the slow paces, going a little bit longer. But now as they go shorter, the quicker pace is probably going to sit this horse just a little bit off and try to punch home. If you look back, the last time in May when this horse ran 1 1/16 at Churchill was a couple lengths off the pace instead of right up on it, and was able to draw off and win nicely by 5 lengths. I like He's Got This in this particular spot. I think the turn back with the other speed in this race is really going to benefit this horse just sitting 2, 3, 4 lengths off the lead and let some of the others go out there and cook it for him. I think the 4 is kind of some cheap speed that's going to go out there. The 7's got cheap speed. The 8 and the 9 are both very fast horses with outside post draws who are going to have to send. And every time you're trying to project the pace of a race, when really fast horses that like to go to the front are on the far inside or the far outside, they're going to be used extra hard because from the inside, they're going to want to try to secure position and keep that advantage. From the outside, they're going to try to cross over the field and not lose ground into the clubhouse turn when we have 2-turn races like this. So the fact that the 8 and the 9 are both confirmed front runners in this race, and they're in the outside 2 post positions, they're going to come out there sizzling. So I think it's going to be a very fast pace. 4, 7, 8, 9 all have speed in here. That's why I think that 1 1/8 stamina on the cutback now and just settling a little farther off the pace for number 6, He's Got This, is a key play of the day for me. And in fact, I would single in this particular spot. If you're playing a pick 4 or pick 5, this is a 6-1 shot in the morning line that I absolutely love. Of the key plays of the day, this is the key of the keys for trainer Chris Hartman, who's already got a couple nice wins on the dirt this meet. He's Got This. Race number 4. If we can get him home, we're going to have a good day, and we'll say we've got this in today's 4th race, Thursday's 4th race. That is, He's Got This, top choice. Also top pick in here for Kim Nelson. None of the other handicappers have this 6-1 shot in their top 3. So 6-1 looks maybe about right. I would be fine with this horse down 4-1. Anything less than that, then you're starting to question whether or not you're getting fair price. But 4-1 and up, I'm all in on He's Got This in at race number 4. Now, the 5th race comes up on the card. It is the swing race in the pick 5s. The early pick 5 and the late pick 5 both run through race number 5. And fives are wild here because the 5 into stars has a tremendous post position in here. We've talked about these big field, 12 horse fields, turf sprints. This kicks off the Keeneland Turf Pick 3 as well. We've talked about these turf sprints with 12 horse fields. Post 3, 4, and 5 are the power posts. Stats show that they have a great statistical advantage, at excellent prices. 2 races this meet so far where we had the big 12 horse fields and turf sprints. The 4 won one, the 5 won the other. You want to be in those posts when you can, and you have a horse that you like. Well, in the stars, the 5 is Brad Cox. It's an Into Mischief. We talk about Into Mischief with success on the dirt at Keeneland, but actually has a better percentage with horses running on Keeneland's turf than on the dirt. So Into Mischief, a good turf sire here at Keeneland, the perfect power post. Brad Cox, Flavian Pratt, who had 8 wins the first 2 weeks of the meet. He's sitting 3rd in the standings and riding great. I think In the Stars at 7-2 in the morning line is an absolute must use here and a single. So we're looking at potential back-to-back singles in races 4 and 5. So maybe that early pick 4 and pick 5 comes into play. Yes, we're 3 by 7 by 2 or 3 to start. But then when you got back-to-back singles, now you start to look at a ticket that can be affordable. So yes, you can get involved if you have opinions similar to mine in the early pick 4 and pick 5, even though you have no clue. At least I don't. I have no clue whatsoever what to do in race number 2 today. So we'll see if we can't spread our wings in there, catch a horse, and maybe catch a price, but just try to get through leg B and then get to those 2 singles in the 4th and 5th race. Again, this will start the Keeneland Turf Pick 3. I'm all in for Into Stars in this maiden race, maiden turf special weight. The outside horse, Two-Step Sally, obviously the one to contend in here. Runner-up in the debut at Kentucky Downs for Brendan Walsh. Must respect there with Tyler Gaffleon. But give me that power post all day with Flavian Pratt, Brad Cox, and a son of Into Mischief, who has good, or a daughter of Into Mischief, who has good form in 2 starts in New York. So a 2nd and 3rd place finish knocking on the door. Let's go for Into Stars. All right, we go next to race number 6 on the card. We hit the back half in the final 4 races on the program. Pick 4 starts in this particular spot. This is a very good claimer, $75,000 purse, $50,000 open claimers. And again, late pick 4 are going to get underway here in race number 6. I don't have one of my key plays of the day in here because there are several good options in this particular spot. I thought the Queen's Jewels, who won the Claiming Crown Rapid Transit at Churchill back in November last year, won that by a nose, top claiming horse in the country in the sprint ranks. This horse is just as good at age 8. There's really no knock. The speed figures are off a little bit, but the form's quite good. The Queen's Jewels, I think, is a horse you have to consider in here. Shooter Shoots, an old class horse from Southern California, used to be with Peter Urton and a top stakes kind of horse. Now with Robertino Diodoro's running well at this, upper level claimer, 62.5 at Churchill last time, ran a good 3rd to Trafalgar. That was a good race. Now in for 50. There'd be no surprise at all to see Shooter Shoot in this particular spot. Upstriker's been claimed 5 times this year. Now with Mike Maker, he's done well with these big kind of $40,000 claims over the years. Upstriker would be no surprise. I ended up with the 6 Derby Date as my top pick, and I'm kind of looking at a horse who's got a win over the track here at Keeneland in the past and is coming off a really, maybe a career best effort for Cipriano Contreras, high percentage trainer in Indiana. 109-4 last time. Derby Date ran through the win last time. I'm just hoping the form stays raging like it was in that last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis. So Derby Date, my top pick in here, the 6, the 3, the 4. If you look across the handicapper selectors, it's Derby Date or Shooter Shoot as the top choices in here. I think there are a couple more options. I think the 3 or the 5 are also horses you could look at potentially in here, looking at multi-race wagers. But certainly the top 2, if you just look at our handicappers, you got to use the 6 and the 4 to start your late pick 4. I would recommend actually going deeper than that if you can here in race number 6. 7th race on the card, the next that we'll take a look at on the 9-race program, Keeneland Turf Pick 3 comes up in this one. Middle leg of the Keeneland Turf Pick 3. This is a turf route allowance, mile and a 16th on the main. We've talked about this over the years. No trainer has had more turf allowance wins at Keeneland in the fall meet than Graham Motion. He's going to have my top pick in here, Sir London. He teams up with Tyler Gaffleon. When Motion and Gaffleone team up over the past couple of years, 32% win percentage. Strong, strong. So this horse comes from Southern California, Sir London, but has been with Motion since August. Has got a work or two at Fair Hill in Maryland at Motion's home base there. Couple works under the belt. Now he knows what to do with the runner. And Sir London, this 4-year-old colt by Malibu Moon, is right where he should be. This is an entry-level allowance race. Tries the turf for the first time. Has not run on the turf. By Malibu Moon out of a Seeking the Gold mare. That Motion brings this horse to run on the grass at Keeneland, I think is significant after seeing what the horse could do at Fair Hill. Sir London, top choice in here for me in race number 7. Let's see what the other handicappers have here in the 7th. Sir London, top pick by Tom and Scott as well. It's going to be Lincoln Highway picked on top for Caton. And on the also eligible list, keep an eye on Grand Aspen, the 15 in here. Todd Pletcher, trainee, coming off a second at Kentucky Downs. You definitely have to consider Grand Aspen if this horse were to draw in the race. Kim's got that one put on top with the contingency, obviously, that he's able to draw in. But absolutely, you want to watch Grand Aspen if this one gets into the field. American Diamond, also a popular horse amongst the handicappers in that second spot. There's a reason there that this horse is 2 for the last 3 in the winner's circle and knows how to get there. You know, this is a horse who's got a nice record with 7 of 12 in the money, has a win over the course here at Keeneland, and a horse who's got some tactical speed as well as the ability to finish. So pace versatility important here for American Diamond coming out of those races at Kentucky Downs. Certainly a horse that you could use in your multi-race wagers. The one, Macalop, is one that had a terrible post position last time. Go to mile at Churchill out of the 10-hole. Completely flips now and gets the rail. And trainer Ian Wilkes had 3 wins last week, 4 for the meet. His horses are all running very well. You get the longtime good veteran turf jockey in Julian Leparoux riding this former Chad Brown trainee, now making the 3rd start for Wilkes, and really has run just as well for Wilkes as he did for Chad Brown back in 2022. So this 4-year-old Macalop one to consider in here, 6, 10, and 1, the way I have it, the exact same order for Tom Leach in here. I think you're fairly safe with those 3, but I wouldn't be shocked if Lincoln Highway, who got no help last time, a horse who's going to come rallying from off the pace for Vicky Oliver, who's already got a couple wins at the meet and has popped some prices here at Keeneland over the years. Caton's top pick, Lincoln Highway. The 4, certainly one to consider in here, but you're going to need a fast pace for this horse to have some kind of factor. Sir London should be forwardly placed, even with the blinkers off. There's not a ton of speed in this particular spot, and this horse with that form on the dirt should transfer some of the speed at least. Whether or not he likes the turf or not, we're going to find out. But Sir London should at least transfer the speed that he showed on the main track to the turf under Gaffleone. So I would go 3 deep in this particular spot, 6, 10, and 1. The choices for me in race number 7. To the 8th race we go, and we get our final key play of the day. We're going to hope the joke's on them at 12-1 because Funny Uncle, the 5, is our upset pick in here. This is a horse whose most recent race kind of shows a return to good form. This horse had some decent form going back a ways and then just kind of ran into a buzzsaw as far as the past performances go. Just kind of 3 straight efforts, trounced at Churchill in May, in July at Ellis, and again in August at Ellis. But last time out, got back on the beam. A good 3rd place finish at 13-1 in the claiming ranks. Now back into the claiming ranks, a similar kind of race here. This is a horse who I think the form is rounding back to what this horse was able to do in the past. Best maiden win on paper here. This horse won an Oaklawn Maiden Special once upon a time. So now in for the non-winners of 2 lifetime claimer. You got a former Oaklawn Maiden Special winner. I like that. Funny Uncle under Corey Lannery. A rallying sort more recently, going shorter distances, but now getting back to a 2-turn distance. So you go from sprint to route. Lannery, a good rallier up the rail. This horse in the 5-hole, you can kind of see if the field clears out a little bit inside, the 3 should go to the front. If Lannery can get the 5 Funny Uncle kind of in and save some ground into the clubhouse turn that he's so apt to do, maybe it makes that rail rally into the second turn and turning for home. Funny Uncle's got a shot in here at 12-1. I sure like the price. I like the setup. And I like a horse who had good form in the past, a maiden special winner at Oaklawn, getting back into form last time. Horses kind of run in and out of form sometimes. They don't do it as much now as they used to do because people don't want to give away starts. With the purses as big as they are, they'll just lay a horse off and wait for the next race. Back in the day, horses kind of ran in and out of form. They weren't running well. They weren't feeling well. They just kind of kept running them until they got back into their game. And then you would see that up and down running lines in past performances. You don't see that as much anymore. Let's see what happens with Funny Uncle here. We'll see if this one has run himself back into good form for Tom Vance. So Funny Uncle, race number 8, one of my key plays of the day, the 5-horse in here at 12-1 in the morning line. Will we get the 12-1 on Funny Uncle looking across the handicapper selectors box? I would say so. Nobody else has Funny Uncle picked at all. So one of our key plays of the day at a price, and we're on the island. Winnie Mac Avenue, the 11, is my second choice and maybe the most logical winner in the race if you look at the other public handicappers, because Scott and Caton both have that one picked on top. Gaffleone rides for Jimmy DeVito. This one drops in class, in for a claiming tag for the very first time. Tells me you're not going to get 8-1 on this horse. My second choice, the 2 simulcast handicappers both have the runner on top. We're looking, and you got the leading jockey Gaffleone riding in there, second leading rider right now in the duel with Luis Saez. But Winnie Mac Avenue, probably not going to be 8-1. This horse is going to be a lower price than that. But there is no standout in this particular race. JR's Gift is 1 for 29 and is the 3-1 morning line favorite. The form looks fine. Ran second last time. The speed figure was big at Churchill, got an 84. I get it. There will be speed figure players who bet the 4-horse and maybe just finds the right field on Thursday to get that victory. But I do not take 1 for 29 with 11 underneath finishes on a horse at 3-1 when I've got some other horses that I like in here. I like Funny Uncle. I like the 11. I would go 5-11 in here and not worry about anybody else. Princely the 1 for Kenny McPeak as the horse comes off back-to-back second place finishes in those pseudo one-turn miles at Ellis Park. Could stretch out to the mile and a 16th here at Keeneland effectively, but didn't run well here. That's the pause I have. This horse got beat 14 lengths in a similar race here during the April meet. And most of the other races in the form were better than that. So I'm not sure if Princely's going to like the main track here at Keeneland. So 5-11, 5's the key play. 5-11 exacta box for me in race number 8 on the intra-race bets, and 5-11 just going too deep in the 8th. We go to the 9th and final race on the card on the Thursday program, and we're going to have a turf pick 3 wrapping up in this particular spot. And across the handicapper selectors box, Wonder Wave, my top choice in here, the 4, along with Kim Nelson. Another turf sprint maiden special weight. This is a split division of a race we saw earlier on the card. We told you posts 3, 4, and 5 have the big statistical edge. Nothing to show from the 3 in the career debut. Kind of a bad start, so we don't know if Satin Blue's got any talent, but didn't really run on in the debut when bet decently to 7-1. Wonder Wave does have good form, though. Brian Lynch brings this one from Ellis Park, coming off a couple second and third place finishes to start the career. The 5 Huntress is a first-time starter for Mark Cassie. Not sure what to make of that one. Does get Johnny Velasquez to ride there, so that's usually a pretty good sign. But I think Wonder Wave, the horses in the power post 3, 4, and 5, is certainly the most trustworthy of those. Rafael Bejarano rides back. Brian Lynch does really well with turf sprints. That's kind of his MO nationally, and does well with them here at Keeneland as well. So Wonder Wave, to me, the horse to beat. I think the 1 for Ian Wilkes, Charm of the Songs, an interesting runner. This is a horse, I think, who can make a move, second career start, move up for a barn that's very patient and a barn that's hot right now. I don't like the rail, though, in a 12-horse turf sprint field. Statistically, that's not a great spot to be. So Charm of the Song under Florent Leroux is going to have to get a great trip in order to be effective and win this race. But I think this horse is going to show pretty good improvement off the career debut. Joke Master, the 9, one you want to keep an eye on in here as well. This is a Mike Maker trainee. He's got 5 wins in these turf sprint maiden races for the 2-year-olds or the turf maiden races for the 2-year-olds over the years. That's tied for the most of any trainer. So keep an eye on Joke Master in here. Ian Wilkes also has those 5 wins. So the guys who win 2-year-old turf maiden races at Keeneland in the fall, Wilkes and Maker have the 1 and the 9 in here. They're going to be my plays underneath the power play horse from the power post, that being Wonder Wave. So for me, you're looking at 4 with the 9-1 with all. It's a great trifecta play, right, with the 12-horse field. 4 is not going to be, I don't think is going to be a heavy favorite in here. I think the horse could go favored, but 5-2, 3-1 looks about right. Logical horse there, the 1-9 in the second spot, use them all for third, and then back it up with the 4 to win, the 1-9 second, and then 4 to win, all to run second, then the 1-9 to run third. So 4 all 1-9 and 4 1-9 all, the way we'll attack the trifecta in the nightcap here, the finale. But I love the post position. Wonder Wave, 5-2 in the morning line, and I would say go ahead and single. I would single this one in the multi-race wagers. Pick 4, pick 5, and the pick 6 as they wrap up the day in race number 9. Confident enough there, I think, that we finish with a single. So we have some singles on the card, horses that may not be huge prices. We've got some long shot plays on the card that look like they will be big prices. It's a juicy proposition. This is as good a weekday card, I think, as I felt after handicapping them on paper going into the day as we had. Again, it'll be day 10 of 17 of the meet on Thursday. We are due for some good fortune and some good results, obviously, but a lot of racing still left to come. And hopefully tomorrow is a day that we rack up a couple of those big price victories. First post will be 1 o'clock on the Thursday card. Again, weather should be good in Lexington if the forecasters are on their game. Hopefully you're on your game handicapping tomorrow. Good luck at Keeneland. I'll be back on Thursday night to preview the Friday card for day 11 of the meet. Good luck, everybody.